So in the Bible, yeah, there's this scripture that says that Satan appears as an angel of light. Yeah. Which I think that scripture was by Paul in Corinthians or something like that, which is very apt, right? Because, the Paul himself, yeah, he claimed that Jesus appeared to him, right, on the road to Damascus, and then he lost his sight because Jesus appeared to him. Now, we know that Jesus is not destructive. Jesus is not a destructive person. Jesus is a constructive person. And Paul is not the first person in the Bible that Jesus will appear to. In fact, in the Bible, Jesus is called the angel of God, right? So there are many people in the Bible Jesus appeared to. Jesus appeared to Agar. Jesus appeared to Abraham. He said, your father Abraham was glad to see me. Jesus appeared to Gideon. Jesus appeared to the parents of Samson. Jesus appeared to many people in the Bible. Not one of them as the angel of God. Do you understand? And even throughout his ministry, there was not one of them that, lost their sight. Yeah. Meanwhile, Paul, all of a sudden, he claimed that Jesus appeared to him on the road to Damascus, and then he lost his sight. Yeah, and that is not characteristic of Jesus. Jesus does not do that. So that's the first red flag. And then you go on to now see now remember that Jesus warned that there are that a lot of people will come in his name, right? And that even if the church is not, if the elect is not careful, that they will be fooled. Yeah. So I believe that is what has happened. Paul is actually what you call is one of those people Jesus was warning. Apostle Paul is one of those people Jesus was warning about, that they will come in his name and, they will fool the elect. Yeah. And he has successfully fooled a lot of people, because if you look at his message, he just keeps saying stuff that is, number one, totally contrary to what Jesus said. And, he did things that were contrary to what Jesus did. So, for instance, Jesus specifically told his disciples, he said, don't go to the Greeks, don't go to the Jews, don't go to the Gentiles, just stick to the Jews. He told them, he said, before I come back, yeah, he said that all those Jewish nations, yeah, that he will come back before they finish touring all those Jewish states, right? Now, Paul all of a sudden just appeared and said that Jesus appeared to him on the road to Damascus, and Jesus told him to be going to the Gentiles. The same Jesus that just left instructions that don't go to the Gentiles. Do you understand? And he kept saying stuff like, oh, God is not the author of confusion. Who is now the author of confusion? All the confusion in the Bible, who was the person that started it? The Tower of Babel, who was the person that came down from heaven to confuse all of them? Was it not God? So many things he was saying, all the things he was preaching in the Bible, things that Jesus will never say, things that Jesus will never do, So I believe he himself is the Antichrist. And a lot of people have been fooled. Instead of them to be talking about Jesus, they'll be talking about Paul. Yeah. And, Jesus even said it categorically. He said that you will walk upon serpents and scorpions, and they will not by any means hurt you. Meanwhile, Paul, snake bit him. The same snake that God said that will not do anything to you, by any means hurt you, which means Jesus is lying. Do you understand? So Paul himself is the Antichrist. Paul is the person Jesus was warning everybody about. That if you are not careful, the church will be deceived. So Satan planted him to deceive people away from Christ, to deviate from Jesus, to take their eyes away from Jesus. Because a lot of people don't even read Jesus. A lot of Christians just read Paul. I just wanted to put it out there. Paul is the Antichrist. Stop waiting for any 666. Paul is the Antichrist. Bye-bye.